welcome to The Door and to the Superwoman of the Travel Industry series. Joining us today, we have a rather dynamic superwoman. Welcome, Ms Bhairavi Lilani, partner at Erawan Travels. With a background in business management, she started her career in the banking sector at Commerce Bank, Singapore. After moving back to India post her marriage, Ms Lilani decided that it was time to follow her passion, travel. With no prior knowledge of the travel industry, she joined a travel agency at 1/10 of her salary with a strong hunger to learn more. After getting a taste of the travel and tourism industry, a few years later, Ms Bhairavi started Erawan Travels, a travel agency that provides its customers with customized holiday options based on the duration of one's trip, time of travel in the year, their budget, and special interests. Come, let's find out more about our guest and her journey into the travel and tourism industry. Hi, Ms Bhairavi, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Thanks so much for having me over.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you chose the time, and tell us a little about your past and your journey into your travel industry. When did it all start?
So this started in about 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been, when I started off, it was a very, it's a one-man show. I was pretty much doing everything from planning the itineraries to going to the bank to deposit the check, running for every visa. So it was just, and slowly through word of mouth, we expanded, and today we are about 20 of us. And it's a superb journey. So the first contract, I started off Erawan. I was sitting on a table, said, okay, where do I begin now? And I started off thinking of all the places I had been to. And Six Senses was the hotel where I had gone for my honeymoon, so Gili. And I loved that place completely. So I said, if I start off Erawan, start off something on my own, it's the hotel where, with whom I would like to tie up. I went to them and they're like, listen, you have no experience in this industry. How are you going to manage? I said, give it a shot. Let me give it a shot. Give me a year. And post a year, I was the highest producing agent for Six Senses in India. So
really?
It's just,
wow.
And that's where I took off, and then there's been no looking back.
Oh, okay. That's brilliant. In fact, Gili is one of the most beautiful properties. One of the, I mean, unfortunately, you're talking about the Maldives one? The Maldives one?
No, so Gili is gone. So no is
gone now. That's what I said. I'm feeling sad that it's not there after the tsunami. So, it was one of the best properties, I remember.
Taken
for sure.
Another Singaporean company, but yeah, it's still not the same. The touch that Sonu had,
no,
I don't think any other hotel has managed to reach there. Yeah.
Basically, do you do tickets and do you customize holidays? And it's like a one-stop shop, Erawan Travels?
So yes, we are a one-stop shop. We started off doing mostly outbound holidays, and then through references, through word of mouth, people said, oh, why don't you also handle our corporate clients? So now we've been handling quite a few corporates, and we also do bespoke holidays.
And do you also do B2B or B2C only? It's only a B2B?
Mostly B2C, but B2B is pretty much only for the hotels that we are contracted with, where we have great relations and great rates. So in those cases, we do supply to other travel agents as well.
And if you look at it, Bhairavi, I know that the travel industry pretty much is not, I mean, I think if you talk about the global scenario, you will find that it's quite a male dominated. But in India, if you ask, how would you think that, has it been difficult for you? What has been your experience in a senior position like yours?
So honestly, it's never really made a difference to me whether, being a woman has never really affected me. It's, I strongly believe if you put in your 100%, if you are sensitive to what a client wants, it doesn't matter. Even in office, we are pretty much equal. Men women ratio is pretty much the same. So no, I've never had a problem being a woman.
So
In
then
fact,
I think the
being
next,
a woman adds a little bit of that sensitivity, adds a little bit of the care, which
okay.
makes itineraries and travel a lot more interesting.
What would you want to say about the concept of women having it all? Is it right to impose a standard only on the working women?
Not at all. I think, honestly, after being at home for 4 months, I think the women who work at home or who run a house pretty much have it all. I mean, you have the patience, you have the skills, you have the multitasking abilities. So, as a working woman, it's also, you need to have it all as well. I would say it's, if you have it within you and you want to do something and you make it happen, you have it all. You need to strive.
Brilliant.
For women, a lot of women say, oh, I can't really do this. I have my husband to take care of, my in-laws, my kids. So for me, I have 2 kids, and I'd love to add the fact that I wake up at 3 in the morning and start off my day, so that you can't tell yourself that, oh, I don't have time for it. If you really love something, you probably
3 o'clock in the morning, Bhairavi?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think waking up in the morning, having that time to yourself, balancing home and work is a lot easier that way then.
And travel industry is a very evolving industry with new trends emerging in travel. Have you been able to keep up with the changing needs of the consumers, especially the millennials?
This is a very interesting one. So when we started 14 years ago, it was very different. People would come to you because they would want to know what you think. They would go with your opinion and they would go with what you said. Of late, especially in the case of millennials, still the old style travelers would still trust you, the ones who've been with you, it goes on. But the millennials would always come back. They would take your recommendations. They would go back to their friends and they would ask them, hey, this is what my travel agent says. What do you think? And the friends would say, oh, no, do this. Go to this place. They go online, they'll research, and they come back, and I'm like, hey, what works for others? I know you as a person, because we are very, very close to who we plan the travels for. It's like, hey, what works for them may not really work for you, and so it's always this to and fro, which goes on. I think that has increased, but otherwise, I guess Indians now have opened up. The market per se is more ready for luxury. They are spending a lot more on travel. They want new experiences, which is way more than what they used to do in the past. The frequency of travel has gone up. So it's interesting times, yeah.
And coming to the current situation, how has the lockdown and the COVID-19 affected your business and your personal life? I mean, how have you stayed relevant, basically?
I have never had this time out to myself before. It's been non-stop working since the time I think I became a student, and I'm enjoying this time out. I'm enjoying the time with the family and no phones ringing. But also at the same time, when I do get a little bit of time off, I've been catching up with tourism boards to understand what they are doing in their country, to understand where they foresee where they foresee travel, and also catching up on new locations where I thought I needed a little bit more brushing up. It's been interesting times. I've been using this time to train my staff on destinations which I thought they needed some brush up. But going forth, I think 2022 will be the year for travel. In the meanwhile, I guess it's going to be more domestic and short haul travel, which we are looking forward to.
Okay. Will travel be the same after we fight the pandemic?
Travel, funnily, we human beings have a very short memory. So I guess once travel starts, probably a few months down the line, people are going to bounce back. People are itching to travel. They will go for it, but the kind of travel will change a little bit. It's going to be longer stays in a single place. It's going to be, the frequency is not going to be that much. Also, the kind of hotels you go to will be the hotels that are more tried and tested, and you're not going to experiment with maybe the Airbnbs or maybe just a hotel which is more online. I foresee a lot of people going to travel agents because a lot of these OTAs have given people a run for their money, for their refunds. They've had miserable times. We've had so many people calling and saying, hey, what do I do? So I do foresee a lot of travel agents doing well. And yeah, I think travel should pick up very, very soon, by about maybe in mid 2021. Looks
Is
like
what you
we
is that what you foresee?
looks like we should have a start in mid 2021.
Ah, okay. That's a very positive thought. I know, definitely. I mean, all of us are waiting for that, for the skies to open up.
In fact, I have clients calling me saying, "Hey, I just wanted to travel and I did not know what to do, so I'm just giving you a call. It just makes me feel happy speaking to you."
Wow.
So, I know people are just waiting to take off.
Take off. I know. I mean, how long has it been?
The other thing what I wanted to say is a lot of travel is probably going to be, to start off, will be more nostalgic. So a lot of people are like, oh, that restaurants that we went to in Paris, or we just want to go back and just walk on the streets of London. So it's going to be more nostalgia rather than experimenting with new destinations.
And what would you think about the views on your perspective, on your way forward in terms of sustainability and in terms of growth plans and your cultural innovations?
We used to do this, but I think it's going to get added a lot more in our itineraries. It's going to be more cultural experiences, because I just feel it's our way of giving back. And so maybe include a lot more artisans, a lot more local restaurants, the smaller ones, which are not really online and which really know what they're selling or what they're feeding or serving rather. And it's going to, so we'll add a lot of cultural trends in our cultural experiences in our itinerary. And yeah, I guess it's going to be a different, people are going to base themselves in one place and probably drive around to different locales around the area.
And what about, which is your favorite destination for a holiday? Your personal?
My personal favorite, tough one between Hawaii and Peru, but I'd say Hawaii.
You would say Hawaii. Okay. So you're a beach person then?
I am a beach and a nature person, but Hawaii pretty much just the volcanic mountains and the beach and just the way the place is, the easy life. It's awesome. The vibe there is super.
And any parting comments to the viewers of The Dope?
Parting comments, it's pretty much, it's what I swear by. I always go by the Warren Buffett phase. And I tell everyone that it's, you take a long time to build a reputation, and it takes just 5 minutes to let it go. So always, whatever you do not think short term, think long term, build your relationships, and then there's honestly no looking back. It's just be true to what you're doing always.
Wow.
And I think at this stage, the travel industry really, really needs it, because a lot of, somewhere down the line, a lot of people think, oh, this travel agent is making a quick buck, I'm going to check with somebody else, I'm going to go online, maybe see it. I think we all need to love what we do. We need to be ethical about what we do. And then I guess there's no reason why people should, a lot of our problems will be solved that way. We have no sales staff, we have no marketing people for the last 14 years. It's pretty much been word of mouth. But that's what keeps us going. It's just being true to yourself and doing what you do really, really well.
Wishing Erawan Travels the very best. I'm sure you all will do extremely well in the next coming, how many ever years to go. And wish you the very best for that. And thank you so much for spending time with us, Bhairavi. It was really interesting talking to you and understanding you. And let's meet sometime soon in Bombay or Bangalore, whenever, if you have traveled to this part of town, definitely we'll catch up for some.
I'd love to.
And to all the viewers, I'm sure you would have loved this show. And I'm sure show us some love by like, share, and subscribe as always. And till the next time, see y'all. Bye-bye.